Let me tell you something most men never realize. When a woman is attracted to you, she usually won't flirt, she won't compliment you, and she definitely won't confess her interest directly. Instead, she asks questions, not random questions. Psychologists who study attraction explain that women often signal interest indirectly, especially when they want to avoid rejection or appearing too eager. So instead of saying, I like you, she tests your awareness. Your awareness. She asks two simple questions that sound completely normal, but are actually emotional signals. And if you understand what those questions really mean, you will never again miss the moment a woman is subtly opening the door to you. Because most men hear these questions and answer them without realizing they just missed an invitation. Today, I'll show you exactly what those two questions are and what they really mean. Most men believe attraction is obvious. They think if a woman likes them, she will flirt, compliment them, or clearly show interest. But human behavior research shows something very different. Studies in social psychology suggest that women often communicate romantic interest indirectly, especially in the early stages of interaction. Why? Because indirect signals protect them from rejection and help them maintain emotional safety. Instead of openly expressing attraction, they observe, they test, and they watch how aware you are. This is where many men miss the moment. Because when a woman begins to feel curious about you, her conversation changes. It becomes slightly more intentional. Not obvious, but intentional. Researchers who study interpersonal attraction call this exploratory signaling. It means someone is quietly exploring whether a deeper connection might be possible. And one of the most common ways women do this is through questions. Two questions in particular appear again and again when a woman feels curious about a man. The first question often sounds like this: do you spend a lot of time alone? At first, it sounds harmless, but psychologically, it means something much deeper. She's not asking about your schedule. She is asking about your emotional availability. In simple terms, she wants to know if there is space in your life for someone. Human connection research shows that people are naturally drawn to individuals who appear independent but emotionally open. Women pay close attention to this balance. If a man seems completely closed off, she assumes there is no room for closeness. But if he appears desperate for connection, attraction also fades. So instead of asking directly, she asks a simple question that reveals the answer. You might hear variations like, do you usually go out by yourself? Are you seeing anyone right now? You seem like someone who enjoys being alone. Is that true? All of these questions are quietly exploring the same thing. Is there space for me in his world? Unfortunately, many men answer this question too literally. They simply say yes or no. But emotionally aware men understand what the question really means. They communicate independence while still showing openness. For example, I enjoy my own space, but good company is always welcome. Or I like my routines, but I'm always open to meeting interesting people. This kind of response sends a powerful signal. It shows confidence. It shows emotional stability. And most importantly, it shows that you are open without being needy. When she senses that openness, the conversation often moves deeper. And that's when the second question appears. The second question usually sounds like this: what are you looking for these days? This question is even more important, because now she is no longer testing your openness, she is testing your direction. Research on attraction consistently shows that people feel more drawn to individuals who demonstrate clarity and purpose in their lives. Purpose signals emotional stability, and emotional stability creates a sense of safety. When a woman asks this question, she is imagining something. She is imagining what it might feel like to become part of your life. And she wants to know one thing: is this man moving forward with intention? Or is he simply drifting through life? Many men accidentally weaken the moment by answering with uncertainty. They say things like, I'm just taking life day by day. Or, I'm not really sure right now. But to her, that can sound like a lack of direction. And attraction tends to fade when someone appears emotionally lost. A stronger response is simple and clear. You might say something like, I'm focused on building a meaningful life with the right people around me. Or, I'm looking for genuine connections and experiences that actually matter. These responses communicate something powerful. You know who you are, you know what you value, and your life is moving forward with intention. That kind of clarity is extremely attractive. Because confidence is not about showing off. Confidence is about knowing your direction. And direction creates emotional safety. This is why these two questions appear again and again in conversations where attraction may be forming. Do you spend a lot of time alone? And what are you looking for these days? One question tests your openness. The other tests your direction. When a man shows both, he becomes someone women naturally feel curious about. Not because he is trying to impress anyone, but because he carries something rare: presence. And presence is often the difference between a man who is simply friendly and a man a woman begins to imagine in her life. So the next time you're having a conversation with a woman, pay close attention to the questions she asks. Because sometimes the moment when attraction begins is hidden inside the simplest words. Now, I'm curious about something. Have you ever realized later that a woman was giving you signals, but you only understood it after the moment had already passed? If that has ever happened to you, write "I missed the sign" in the comments. And if you enjoy learning the subtle psychology behind attraction and human behavior, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because in the next video, we're going to break down the quiet signs a woman shows when she feels emotionally drawn to a man, and most men completely miss them. And once you understand those signs, conversations with women will start to feel very different.